Welcome to the subject software engineering. We are in chapter 9, that is design engineering. And today's topic is pattern based software design. So, this is the last topic of this chapter. Okay, the name of the topic is pattern based software design. That is, when you design a software, you take help of patterns. Point number 1. The best designer in any field always try and see patterns that characterize a problem. Throughout the design process, the software engineer should look for and reuse existing design patterns. Students, you very well know design process is very complex, it is time consuming and planning is a must. So always, engineer should see how the design can be economic. So in that case, if he sees a pattern which will help to solve the problem, he should adopt and use that. Point number 3. Pattern based design is technique that reuse design element that have proven successful in the past. Students, pattern based design is very useful because here you adopt the concept of reusability. You can reuse the elements which have been best proven as part of any design. Now let us go to next subtopic, that is describing a design pattern. Point number 1. Mature engineering disciplines make use of thousands of design pattern. For example, an electrical engineer uses an integrated circuit to solve a specific element of a new problem. Students, as you mature in developing a design, always you look in for a pattern. One doesn't want to rework and one want to use a pattern which has been successful in the past. For example, a design engineer, electrical engineer would use IC, which is very successful. Point number 3. A description of design pattern may also consider a set of design forces. Point number 4. A design force describes non-functional requirements associated with the software for which pattern is applied. Okay, students, so there is something as force behind the design, which we call as non-functional requirements. So these non-functional requirements influence the design. So when you choose a pattern, you should consider these forces. Describing a design pattern. Point number 5. Forces also define the constraints that may restrict the manner in which design is to be implemented. Point number 6. In essence, design forces describe environment and conditions that must exist to make design pattern applicable. Students, design forces also define the constraint, that is the limitation or the restriction, how that pattern may be used. Point number 7. The pattern characteristics such as classes, responsibilities and collaborations indicate the attribute of the design that may be adjusted to enable the pattern to accommodate variety of problem. Students, you should have such an characteristics in a pattern, that will help us to adjust and enable pattern to be accommodated in the problem that is under consideration. So pattern should be chosen as per the problem that is being handled. Now let us go to describing a design pattern. Point number 8. The attributes represent characteristics of design that can be searched via a database so that an appropriate pattern can be found. So the attributes that are associated with the pattern will help us to choose the correct pattern that is most suitable in the design of the problem that is under consideration. Point number 9. The guidance associated with the use of design pattern provide an indication about the ramification of the design decisions. The name of design pattern should be carefully chosen so that when in need, the right pattern can be easily searched. Students, there are many patterns, but if the name is not correct, then you will find it difficult, and that is why experience has shown that thousands of patterns remain unused because there is no proper coding or there is no proper nomenclature. So when you want to use the pattern, you will go by the name of the pattern. So name should be very appropriate. Next topic is using patterns in the design. Point number 1. The design pattern can be used throughout the software design. Once the analysis model is developed, the designer can examine the detailed representation of the problem to be solved and the constraints that are imposed by the problem. Students, you can use patterns at any stage in the design. Okay, so patterns can be adopted at any stage of the design. After the analysis model is developed, a designer can look for the patterns that can be used in developing the design so as to solve the problem. Types of design pattern are 1. Architectural pattern, design pattern and idioms. We will study these 3 design patterns in detail. So, types of pattern. The problem description is examined at various levels of abstraction to determine whether it belongs to any of the 3 types of patterns. So students, when you are stuck up with a problem, you should check whether the solution to the problem belongs to any of the 3 types of the patterns under consideration, such as architectural pattern, idioms, like that. Point number 1. Architectural pattern. These patterns define overall structure of the software and indicate the relationship among the subsystem and software components. Students, as the name suggests, it is an architectural pattern. So pattern which will help in the architectural aspects of the design. So these patterns will define overall structure of the software. In that it will define the relation between various subsystems and the software components that form part of the design. Also, they will help you to define the rules which will show the relationship among the different components. Second pattern is design pattern. These address a specific element of the design, such as aggregation of components to solve some design problem, relationship among the components. So students, as the name suggests, it will help you in the design aspects, so that you can solve a specific problem or element. Third, idioms. These are called coding patterns. These are language specific patterns generally implement an algorithmic element of the components. Students, as the name suggests, these are coding patterns, so that will help you when you develop the code for a particular problem. And once you develop the code, code is developed in a particular programming language. So such patterns are specific to the particular programming language, and they help us to solve according to certain algorithm. The next topic that we are considering under this pattern is frameworks. So point number 1, frameworks is an extension of patterns and provides an architectural skeleton for the design of complete subsystem within the specific domain. So students, As the name itself suggests, it is a framework. So framework means what? It will give broad idea, or it is an extension of the pattern, which will work as architectural skeleton for the design. Okay, so that the various subsystems and the specific application can well fit into the framework. Point number 2. To be most effective, frameworks are applied with no changes. Students, when you choose a framework for particular problem, you should see that the framework should not be changed. Otherwise, it will be of no use. So, students, today we have considered very important topic, that is pattern-based software design. Okay. So, if you got anything in this, you can just give me a call. It is very straightforward. Thank you.